Hi everyone, and welcome back to one of our IELTS program training. How is everyone? I hope you're doing fine, and I hope you're all of you safe. As we say, your safety coming first, and keep all the health procedures intact. So, I hope you're doing well, positive, creative, and important part, healthy. And the important part is to stay most healthy as possible. So, my dear friends, I hope my voice is clear now because we're gonna work in details, and we're gonna work in some kind of like cover up the definitions of IELTS writing techniques. We're gonna go for strategies and everything. Hi Alice, how are you? How is everything? I hope I pronounce your word correct here. And if my voice is clear, that's fantastic. So my voice is clear, folks, or still? How is my voice, folks? If it's my voice clear, okay, that's good. That's good. So, my dear friend, I hope that everything is fine here because I see some broadcast issues here with the technical. I don't know what is going on here, but we're gonna start here in any way. So, my dear friends, today we're going to talk about IELTS Writing Task 2, okay, the evaluation. So we're going to go for the dimension, the fourth dimension of IELTS writing techniques. First of all, we're going to go for the achievement and coherence and the resource and the grammatical change. So I did not say grammatical range, I said grammatical change. Now this is what happened here, is we're gonna figure out how to correct some grammatic forms, some phrases forms in a way that it will be easy for you to write a paragraph. In the previous lessons we covered the way how we write. What are the rules of writing? So we got first introduction, and the second one, what we call a second introduction, which we use it in Academic, and third one is the paragraph, which is we have two bodies here, calm body and active body, and after that we get summarizing and conclusion. Now this is what we are gonna cover up. So I see that everyone here and everyone increasing, so if it's clear, we're gonna go and we go ahead. First of all, my dear friends, in writing techniques, as we see here in the four dimensions of writing task 2, first, you have to understand the achievement and the coherence of the idea. Let's put it this way. To be clear how to understand things will work, first you have to think like the writer itself. So when the passage comes to you, or clear out many details, you need to think the same way as the author, so you can get the range, 7 to 8. Now this part will cover, all the aspects of the ideas. Now, let's go a warming up situation here. I want you now to think with me in a way that will be very clear, so we can go for IELTS technique. I will ask you a few questions. Consider it as a kind of like riddle or kind of like warming up, guys. So basically, we're going to go for a bit sport in language and thinking, and after we're going to go for IELTS technique. So, let's start with first. I'm going to give you a question, and I'm waiting the answer of you folks. The question is not about English. It's about thinking English. So this is the way, it's like riddle. Last time, all my, my previous sessions, I was giving some riddles. But today is a specific riddles that you need to get the idea what I mean here. So let's start with the riddles here. And we have strategy of IELTS writing riddles, basically. So when we're going to go ahead and we're going to see the first riddle. Now, as you see, there is a fast question here. Yeah? Brothers and sisters, I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. So, who is this man we are talking about? Who can give me the answer? Come on, I want you to think in a way to understand the strategy here. So, brothers and sisters, hello Ravi, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So, again, brothers and sisters, I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. Who is this man? So, who can give me the answer? I want you to think, because consider this as a part, what you're going to write. So, what you're going to write in the paragraph is the way how you think in English. How you think the tactic works. So, I want you to answer this question. Who can give me the answer? Who can give me the answer, folks? Mustafa, Yeliz, who can give me the answer? Brothers and sisters, I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. Who is this man? Melda? No, dear, not brother. What do you think? Adam. Everyone goes, by the way, for a brother, but it's not brother. Look to the word. I want you to think this way. I have none. He said, I have none. But this man's father is my father's son. So, get the connected, the idea. I want you to connect the bridge here. Connect the idea. What do you think? What do you think? Oh, Melda say grandfather. No, dear, is not a grandfather. The answer is so simple, my dear. The answer is so simple. What is the question is? It said, the brothers and sisters. He's talking to his brothers and sisters. I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. So, who is this man? This man is my son. That's the trick. So what happened here? He described this man's father is my father's son. So he talked about himself. Yeah? Basically. So he talked about his son. That's the trick. See how you connect the words and how get the idea. Yes? Melda, you understand me? Adam, you understand me? Get the idea and work with it. Okay, this is a bit more warming up here. We're going to go more warming up here. Okay, now let's go for more another dimension. What we call, sometimes there is a secret key or hidden key mentioned in the article. So the hidden key mentioned in the article is basically a passage that mentions some details. And the passage that mentions some details go to one word. One word. So let's go, grab a point here and let's go ahead. Now let's go for the second question. See this question. Who makes it has no need for it. Look here. Who buys it has no use for it. Who uses it? It can neither see nor feel it. So what is the answer here? What do you think? What is the answer? I want you to think now in a structured way. The first question was to think in, dynamic way. Now, we're going to discuss about structure. We are now describing a structure. What do you think? What is it? Now, we are describing who makes it has no need for it. Yes? Yes. And who buys it has no use for it. Right? Right. And who uses it? It can neither see it nor feel it. So, what is it? Now, it's the part here we describe something. Sometimes in the passage mentioned like that, and it's related to one word, one keyword mentioned in the summary. So, could you figure out what is the answer? What is the answer, folks? And I hope my tactic worked today, because I use different techniques to make you understand the idea of the fourth dimension here for the writing task too. What do you think, folks? Give me an answer. It's here. Adam, Melda, Burak, he said uncle. We're talking about who makes it. It's something description. It's physical. It's mentioned physical. We're talking about the second part. We are talking about the second part. We're talking about this part. What is the answer? Yes, it's a hard question for you. But now, Melda said it's a hard question to understand what is the meaning of the concept or the idea. Yeah? Okay. Who else feel it's easy or it's hard? Who else feel it's easy or it's hard? What do you think? By the way, it's a kind of like programming language. When you want to use it for intensive training, we keep using some specific word. For example, so, what do you think? What's up to? What's your opinion? When you repeat these words, it's actually increase some kind of technique, memory technique. So it's a kind of like what we call it, language programming method. So if you notice me, I use a lot of so and need to and have to, and you think so. It's when I'm kind of like programming you to work with a specific technique. So, my dear friend, any answer about it? Any answer? Who give up? Who's not? Who give up? Who's not? I see nobody's answering. Yes? Now the answer is so simple. The answer is so simple because that's kind of like we describe something. Oh, it's come only now. Let me think. I see. I see. Look. Now, when we describe the first question here, we describe relation situation, or this we are describing the connection between two. Hi, Tufan, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Now, this was the first one. So we understand the connections when we say, but this man's father is my father's son. So this is a connection. Now the second one, when we go for description, now we are actually describe something. So sometimes when we do in the procedure or in passage in IELTS writing technique, we are actually describing something in different forms. First is to fill as much words as possible because you got 250 words. And the second one, you get the variety of it. So Selene, she said, yes, it's a coffin. Correct. It's a coffin. I hope you did not Google it first, because, you know, if you Google it, that's not good. I need you to think. Yes, it's a coffin. It's a coffin, Selene. Okay. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, dear. So, my dear friends, now this is the difference between first and second. The first, we are describing the connection between two things, or two relative things. Now, the second one is we are talking about describe the physical thing. So what we say, we use the same meaning in different words. This is the same technique we are using in the writing passage. The same technique in the writing passage, especially in the academic form. And I repeat, this technique is all the time used in academic form. The reason why we are repeating somehow direct and indirect passages just to fill the gap and, you know, give as much information as possible as a long story short. Now, let's go for number three of this technique. Look here. Sometimes in the passage, and it's come as a question, when we, for example, write about something. But this something in the passage, it has, you know, a lot of meanings. So it's not exactly work on it. You don't know what is the subject is talking about it. It's like this question here, what we see it here. What has many keys but can't open a single lock? What has many keys but can't open a single lock? Now, this is the technique. It has many meanings. And there is one target, is a single lock. Now, the idea is behind this question is a riddle, basically, but the passage sometimes coming in academic form by this way. The passage that you will write on it, Adam said the first one is me. No, it's my son, actually, not me. So, we come back about the third one. Now, the third one here, this is the passage title, that's what you should write about. But when it's come to you, it's coming in different way. Okay? So you get different meaning. So, for example, it has many keys but can't open a single lock. How do you know what is it? No, dear. No, Yalis. It's wrong. Now, the answer is so simple. Adam, a key holder. No, not a key holder. I said it has many keys. Answer key, Selene. No. But can't open a lock. Because still, answer key can open a lock. A key holder can open a lock because it has all the keys. But this is specific. Look to the idea. This is specific. It has many keys as possible, but it can open a single lock with or without any additional stuff. So what do you think? What is it? Look here, this is one of the traps in IELTS writing techniques. The question comes to you by this way, not like exactly this way, by the meaning of this way, and you will lose the answer like what I see here, but the key cannot open the lock by itself. Yes, but it holds the keys. Now here, we're talking about even it has many keys. So the key is possible to open a lock, but this one can't open a single lock. I said a single lock. Now, this is the technique that we are using in writing, you know, for dimension. No, dear, it's not. It's not a lock, actually, but it's very simple. It's very, very simple. If you want to know the answer, I will write it for you here, guys. Again, you said it's a master key, but it's not. So it's not exactly what you think. See, what I was talking here, the first dimension is the way how you will think in English. We're talking about many keys. And many can't open a single lock, not even a lock, a single lock. The idea of luck is not going to work out here. So basically, the answer is a piano. The answer is a piano. The piano, it has many keys, but it can't open a single lock. Now, this is a kind of trick you will face in IELTS, a piano. So, this is kind of trick that is going to work out in IELTS Writing Task 2 in both general and academic. And basically in academic one, sometimes the description goes different and you need to understand the idea. Okay? So, this is one of the three. Now, let's go for one more question before we're going to go back to our target. Now, remember, we get 4 concepts of structured questions. First one is when we talk about brothers and sisters, a connection, relative connections between the ideas and the passage. So you need to understand the gaps in the question itself, like this question, and don't say it's me or it's my uncle. No, understand the question. He said, brothers and sisters, I have none. So he talked about describing himself. But this man's father is my father's son. So he described himself about his son, not about brother and sister. Now this is how it's worked. This is called relative connection. Okay? The ideas of relativity. Now the second one, when you see there is a description, or what we call it, a descriptive ideas in the passage. So when you start writing, you need to understand the writing techniques. What we are describing a physical form. A physical form. So look here the question we are talking about. There is who build it, make it, design it. So it's a physical thing. So we're talking about physical. So in this case, in academic passage all the time, it's easy for you to write and play with words with the same meaning. Still you get the nice score though. Still you get the nice score. And it's not like, gonna be, you gonna lose something, or no way. It's not gonna work out like this. But basically, it's actually working different way. Okay? Now, what has many keys but can open? Now, this is one of the academic technique. This is what we call illusion question. The illusion question technique is give you a keys, a words, but unit is not related to the word itself. It's something outside. So all the time in the passage, concentrate on the last part of the explain the question here on the passage. Explain the ideas. So how it's work, what it's cover, what you do. Okay? So when you say open a single lock, it's mean that's it. Now, before we're going to go for a last one, I will ask one last question here, and we will see before that. So everyone understand the idea, guys? Everyone understand the idea? Is it clear for you? Is it clear for you, everyone? If it's clear, so say yes, and we're going to continue. If it's clear. If it's clear. If it's clear, say yes, please. Yes. Good. Hassan, good. How are you, Hassan? I hope you're doing well. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. Good. So you understand the idea, and it's easy for you to get the concept now. Okay. Now, before that, before we're going to go for the next step, I'm going to ask the last question here. Now, what runs all around a backyard, yet never moves? Yet never moves. What runs around all backyard yet never moves? Now I want you to think about it. Look, the keyword here is backyard. What does the mean backyard? Who knows? What is the meaning of backyard? What is the meaning of backyard? Who can give me the meanings of backyard here? Yeah, garden, or the back garden, you know, behind the house, the garden. Exactly. So what runs all around backyard yet never moves? What is that? Look, we're describing about, what is the keyword here? What is the keyword? Backyard. So the backyard, we're describing something in the backyard. But it runs everywhere, yet never moves. Now, if you get the idea here, what is that exactly? I want you now to look. If you will answer such questions, for you, IELTS writing technique is going to be so easy because you understand the idea. What is the question is talking about? First, we found the keyword. The keyword is backyard. Now, second one, we found a verb. The verb in the passage, which is maybe runs, or this one. Yellows, yes, correct. A fence, yes, fence. That's correct. Fence, yellows. Wonderful. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So, need to understand the idea. Runs here is not mean move. It's mean go around. No, this is the idea we're talking about, describing something not exist in the passage. Not exist in the passage. But somehow the passage describe it indirect way. Now, this is a description called indirect way in the passage. Okay? So, fence is correct. Yellows, thank you so much. Okay. So, everyone understand the 4 ideas of writing techniques, how you understand the passage, right? If everyone understands the passage, so it's clear, right? So, everything is fine, and you know, I can see some reaction here, even in the private in WhatsApp. I got some messages. By the way, folks, don't forget,